All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Long Form, bringing back Rita. Rita, now, just for the record, all right, I'm going to put this out there so it is cemented in internet glory. Congratulations on your promotion.
Oh, thank you.
Well
It's been a
deserved.
long time coming.
It
Thank
has
you.
been. But, you're there.
It
With,
is.
you started from the bottom, now we're here. So, yeah, good stuff. Now, we were going to talk about something really interesting today, which was like, traditional cultural values and how much we bring it into Western ideals, seeing as you and I, we're like ethnic people, if you haven't noticed
If
yet.
you can't tell. Yeah.
But something came up today. You want to tell everyone what happened?
Yes, I do actually. It's
Go on. Set
interesting.
the scene. What happened today?
Okay. So at the Academy Awards today, um, comedian and actor Chris Rock made a comment at Will Smith's wife. That didn't go down very well with Will Smith, so he pretty much just walked up to him and slapped the shit out of him.
Okay, so Rita, you're not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to show this right now to the viewers.
G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? that was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard.
Oh, it's coming up.
Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
It did look like staged at one point.
Wow,
Until
dude.
he starts swearing.
It was a
going off
G.I.
now.
Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out of mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Oh, okay, that's awkward. That's really cringy. Okay, so by the time this podcast comes out, you've probably all seen that video, all over social media, all over TikTok. Will Smith being made fun of completely. Now, let me ask your opinion on that. You have very strong feelings on this.
Yes, I do.
Go on.
Well, the way Will Smith handled it was very cowardly, in my opinion.
Tough. Cowardly. That's strong
Yes,
words. They'd be fighting
yes.
words.
Because what he did, he's gone up to Chris Rock on live television and slapped him, knowing very well that one,
Mm.
Chris Rock wasn't able to, fight back or try to defend himself,
Yes.
and two, knowing very well that he's got an audience watching him,
Yes.
and he still decided to do something. It was disgusting the way he's reacted. I mean, some people will tell you, he had the right reaction, given there's a reason behind why Will Smith got very emotional at that stage, because his partner Jada has alopecia,
I don't
and
even know what that is, by the way. And I did look.
so it's hair loss.
Is that it? It's just you lose hair? Is that
Yeah, so
okay?
it's like a skin disease
Fair
that
enough.
she's got. So she's lost her hair, and she's been struggling with that disease for a few years now, and she's made it very public as well. So has Will Smith. He's spoken about it too. And then the fact that Chris Rock had turned around and called, what did he say? Something about G.I. Jane 2?
Yeah, he's looking forward to the next installment of G.I. Jane, G.I. Jane 2. Because Demi
Yeah,
Moore was in G.I. Jane and she was bald.
and she was bold. Yeah. Um, but if you notice in the beginning, Will Smith was laughing.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So Jada Smith didn't take it very well. She gave him a look. Will Smith was laughing, and then when he turned around and had a look at Jada, saw the way she reacted, he decided to walk up to her, fight for their love, and just slap the shit
Mr.
out of
White
her.
Knight. Mr. White Knight, Will Smith. Bang.
Slap. Yes, it was uncalled for. It was unreasonable.
But hang on.
Um,
Everything that you've said, do you think he was thinking about that at the time? He's like you said, he knew Chris Rock couldn't do anything on live TV. Like he knew, like, do you think it was driven purely by emotion, or do you think it was calculated? Because the way you said it, like, I don't think Will Smith calculated that. Hang on, I'm on live TV. Hang on, they can't do anything. Hang on, you know what I mean?
man, look, what would you like? It took him maybe about a minute to walk up to Chris. He
No,
hadn't
it seemed
planned.
like seconds. It seems like seconds. I don't know if
He
that
literally
wasn't cut.
got out of his chair,
Yep.
walked up to Chris. At that moment, he could have realized where he was. I'm pretty sure Will Smith has been living as a celebrity for what? He's been a celebrity for 30 years, 40 years, knowing very well that all eyes are on him at all the time, whether he's in public, whether he's in his personal space. There's always paparazzi everywhere. There's always cameras everywhere. He should have known better than to just go with go with his impulse and just.
Well, that's what I think it was, though. To be honest with you, I think it was pure impulse. I think it was pure emotion, which we'll talk about this later, which I think speaks to this, like, why is this guy being so impulsive? Why is he getting so emotional because someone cracked a joke about his wife? You know, it just says something about Will Smith. Like, Will Smith used to be the man, right? He was, killing zombies. He was like saving the world. He was the action hero.
A legend.
Yeah, and now he's just this guy that's been cucked, and he's just a simp for women now, right?
He's a marshmallow.
Yeah, his masculinity is gone. He used to be Hitch. He used to be the guy that showed other guys how to get women, and now this guy's like, yeah. Look, I agree with you. I don't like what happened. I think it was like cowardly is interesting because some people would argue that he was brave to protect his wife, right? There's two sides of that argument.
I mean, David, yeah, it's.
But don't you agree though? Don't you think some people would be like, yeah, good on you for protecting your family, the name of your family?
But did he really protect his family in the name of his family, or did he just cause a scene and an outburst that happened everywhere?
Yeah.
If he was a gentleman, he would have handled it so much better than just to walk up to someone, slap them in the middle of a live stream, knowing very well this person's not going to do anything back. Yeah. They weren't going to go hard out, punching each other on live television. What I think was courageous was the way Chris Rock handled it at the end. Was still able to crack a joke about the whole situation.
Well, right. You mean right at the end during that moment, or towards the end of the show? Because I didn't see.
No, right at the end during that moment after. And also what was cowardly is the fact that Will Smith had gone back, sat down on his chair, and was still yelling out abuse to.
That was so emotional when he said, don't put my wife's in your effing mouth or whatever. Yeah. That when the camera panned to him, like that pure raw emotion, I just thought, bro, you need to handle yourself better, man. Handle your shit. And especially like you're a celebrity, right? And you must be hounded by paparazzi. You must be like stalked all the time. And this one thing triggered you. That's why I think like similar to Kanye West, right? This guy's having some kind of mental breakdown. Like for him to react like that, that's not normal. Especially the shit they go through as celebrities.
He's been a public figure his whole life. He knows exactly what being a celebrity is all about.
Okay, then what do you think? What happened?
The fact that he acted like this, look, and you know what's the weird thing is when there was a whole debacle about his relationship with Jada. When was it? Like a few years ago when she was called the entanglement situation that they had.
Red Circle, like they did that podcast, the Red Circle thing.
Yes.
Red Table.
I didn't watch Red Table. Same thing. It's round. I'm pretty sure it was a round table.
It was.
Given that situation and the amount of comments that was thrown at him, he handled that situation pretty well. Just for him to break down at this comment, it makes no sense. I feel like there's a lot happening in the background that we're not aware of.
Well, during that Red Table incident, I also feel like he came off looking like the simp. The guy that just craves women's attention, like his wife's got his balls in a jar on the bedside table. Like this guy's been totally emasculated. Even from that Red Table, people were saying, why are you lusting after this woman so much? Why are you you've just lost it, man. You just, you lost your balls completely. And I think then this incident comes up and he's just so protective of Jada. Like, in a way, like I can understand. I don't know. I'm a husband. I don't know, but then we,
Question for you.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. You're a husband.
Hmm.
Would you have reacted that way?
See, this is the other thing. I probably wouldn't in the context of a roasting, right? If me and my wife go to a comedy show and she gets roasted, like that's part of the deal.
You'll be laughing, cheering on the comedian.
Like
You love a good roast.
I
Yeah.
would laugh. I would laugh because it's like this is comedy, right? And before we started the recording, we said like, isn't it tradition that comedians get a free pass when it comes to this stuff?
I
Right?
think so too. I think we've just become a very sensitive culture.
Yeah, because rightly or wrongly, comedians talk about rape culture. They talk about gender politics and gender identity, and they talk about horrible stuff, right? But because it's in the context of black comedy and stand-up comedy, for the most part, we give them a pass, right? And I don't know why Will Smith didn't give Chris Rock a pass on this one.
I'm not sure about their history together. I feel like maybe there's been tension between the two for a while. I mean, that's the only way around this. That's the only thing that would make sense. But even with that tension, you handle yourself like a celebrity. You compose yourself when you're on live television. You've got millions of people watching you. Men and women look up to you. You're a public figure. You compose yourself in moments like this.
So
You don't just act impulsively.
in your eyes, he lost credibility then?
Oh, you know what I did? I unfollowed him on TikTok.
Okay, are you going to follow him again at some time down the track?
No.
Really?
No. I wouldn't, because what he did,
Yeah.
Whether Chris Rock was wrong or right, maybe he shouldn't have said those things. But at the end of the day, comedy is comedy and roasting is roasting there for a reason.
Yeah.
We don't make fun of things that are positive. We don't make fun of. You can't have comedy about something positive. You have comedy about negative things.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to accept that, like, is it Ricky Gervais who's used to host the Oscars all the time?
Yeah, I think he did the Emmys or something.
It's one of the shows. And I remember one stage he's come back and he said, and his comedy is very dark, it's very crude humor.
Yeah.
And he'd gone up and said, I'm surprised they've asked me to come back again and again. And he used to cop a lot of criticism for his
he made jokes about what's that rapist?
Sure
Einstein? No, not Einstein. Not Albert Einstein.
Yes,
Weinstein.
Albert, yeah.
Weinstein. You know, Weinstein, how he was like sexually assaulting all those actresses. He was making jokes about the child, the guy that hung himself in the jail cell with his child molesters and all the politicians and all that stuff. He made jokes about that. And no one said anything. Well, people got offended, I'm sure. But I don't understand why Chris Rock tried to pull off the same thing and then Will Smith just lost his shit. And then there's that other thing that I mentioned to you. Like, do you think Will Smith would have done it if it was something bigger and badder like The Rock? You know, would he have gone up and slapped The Rock?
No, definitely wouldn't.
Yeah. So in that sense, maybe there was a bit of calculation, right? Maybe he did think about it.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't really that impulsive. I mean, maybe I feel like Will Smith sees Chris Rock, he sees himself as a superior. So I'm not sure if, like you said, if it had been The Rock, he wouldn't have even thought of getting out of his chair.
Yeah, and what burns you? I bet this burns you even more. The fact.
The connections a bit in and out.
What burns you, I reckon, even more is the fact that he won Best Actor for King Richard.
Oh, the audacity. Okay, so he did not just win the Best Actor. He got up on stage. He said a speech about love and...
and no, he talked about fiercely protecting his family.
Fiercely protecting his family and simping over his wife. And he had the audacity to cry and apologize to the Academy, but not Chris Rock, for slapping the hell out of him in front of millions and millions of people. No wonder why he won the Oscar. No, hats off to this guy.
They've literally just given the Oscar to like a violent offender.
Violent offender. You know, I looked it up, and apparently Chris Rock didn't press any charges, but if he
Yes.
had, he would have gotten a $2,000 fine or would have ended up in custody for 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Apparently
he probably wouldn't have gone to custody, but you know,
It's one of the two.
yeah. But yeah,
But
I
given
mean, it's undisputed. It's literally on camera, on live TV. You literally assaulted somebody, and that's just poor form, really. I'd be interested to see the aftermath of this in the coming days. Like, is he going to say something about it? Is he going to come out with an official statement, an apology, whatever? Because I think he's a nice guy, right?
I don't think we're going to be expecting an apology aimed directly at Chris Rock, because if that was the case, he would have apologized when he was crying on stage to Chris Rock instead of the Academy.
Yeah.
But I do think that it will be addressed. I'm not sure if Chris Rock's going to say anything about it. But what really bothered me the most was the fact that no one did anything about it.
What do you mean?
They just, the crowd, the audience, the Academy itself.
Well, people
no one
didn't know what was going on. They thought it was half
Yeah,
staged.
but then when they did, but that's the thing. When he sat back down and he started yelling at him, telling him, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth."
Yeah.
That's when people realized that this thing is serious. It wasn't an act.
Well, what do you think?
It wasn't.
What do you want them to do?
But the thing is, I saw footage, like backstage footage. The moment that they went to the ads, or the moment the show was over, everyone went up to Will to console him.
Yes.
No one walked up to Chris Rock.
Well, I'm sure Chris Rock had his people, but yeah, I think it was Denzel Washington and some other guy. I don't know who it was that went to console Will Smith because he was crying.
Tyler Perry, yes.
Yeah.
And see, he's used emotions again to get away from this.
Yeah.
If you're a man, if you see yourself, and I'm not saying this as a, like an attack towards masculinity or anything, but you've literally gone up on stage and told everyone that you're the protector of your family, yet you're there crying, you're in tears because you slapped someone.
Yeah, that is kind of, I do understand that. It seems a bit hypocritical, like a oxymoron. Like, if you're so strong, if you're so a protector of your family that you're willing to go out and assault somebody, then why are you having such a big emotional reaction to it? Like, there's a conflict there that I don't understand. So I don't know, was he just overwhelmed with whatever emotion? Like, when people are really angry, they cry.
Maybe it was his first ever Oscar as well, because it was his first ever Oscar.
No, but even after he slapped him, and then they went to commercial break, apparently there was footage of him like wiping away tears around that point in time.
Yeah, I think he knew he messed up.
Yeah, I think so. A small part of him was like, shit.
Because like, if you're the protector of your family, you also, the first thing you'll think about as a celebrity is protecting your reputation, because that's everything in today's sensitive society, in today's cancel culture.
Yes.
It's all about cancel culture. That's the world we live in today, right? One wrong move and you're cancelled. So if you don't tell me you don't know that. You've grown up as a celebrity and as a public figure. Surely you know what the right from wrong. And if you're really willing to protect that reputation, you know not to act like this in public.
Yeah. Hey, I totally believe that he's lost followers, fans, whatever you want to call it, from this one incident.
Lost me, definitely.
Most people would always back the comedian because psychologically, people don't want to feel like they are that serious. People want to be like, they want to side with the comedian because they want to feel like, yeah, I can take a joke too. If someone said that about my partner, I wouldn't do that either. I can take a joke. I'm not that serious. But let's talk about Kevin Samuels and his take on it. He talked about what is it?
Emasculated entanglement
syndrome. Right. So he put up a video and he's saying, look, this is the result pretty much of the feminist movement, right? They're emasculating men. They're turning. There's this concept, this idea that in the 21st century, whatever, like men are becoming more feminized, and this is a perfect example of it. Like he can't take a joke anymore, or he can't handle just someone taking a dig. Like all of a sudden, he's just so emotional. That's what gets me.
But do you think it's just men or it's just society in general? Because I feel like it's a more of a holistic approach. Everyone's taken that approach. Everyone's acting this way in today's society. Like, yeah, I don't even want to get into it. It's going to be a very controversial topic. But
I think things are happening within the society that is encouraging men or boys, even starts from a young age, to be more in tune with their emotions. Now, there's people that says that's a good thing, right? Because back in the day, boys would be like, "You're a boy, you don't cry," But now boys are encouraged to, yeah, you can cry, you can feel your emotions, blah blah blah. And I think that has also contributed to men becoming more feminine, I suppose. I don't know. And it starts from
well,
many systems, schools, whatever.
yeah, no, I definitely agree. I agree with that. I feel like in today's society, men have been they're overcompensating for whatever it is that they've put females through in the past. And I feel like that's reflecting on the men nowadays. Instead of adapting that more feminine approach, they're overcompensating.
So overcompensating as in like...
It's like the generational trauma kind of thing. So I feel like they've taken a similar approach. Instead of just treating women as equals, men are overcompensating and in that process become emasculated. They're forgetting about their ideas of what masculinity is all about, and they're kind of adapting that very feminine approach.
You better watch out. You're going to get all the people claiming that you're encouraging toxic masculinity.
I am not encouraging toxic masculinity. I feel like there is... I'm telling you, this is a very controversial topic.
It is, because there's two camps, right? There's one camp that really celebrates masculinity, right? But this Will Smith thing is not even about masculinity, right? It's just about what's wrong with you. Why can't you take a joke?
I feel like I don't know. I don't understand what happened there. Seriously, I'm trying to analyze it in my head as well, but I can't seem to find.
I feel like it's potentially one of these moments where it's a career-ending mistake. That's what I feel like.
You know what? I've done some Googling after I found out about the incident, and a lot of people are actually siding with Will Smith.
Arguing what?
Siding with him, arguing that, alopecia is something serious and that it shouldn't be joked about. It shouldn't be used as a joke. But
that's what comedians do.
And it's not just what comedians do. It's humor is a defense mechanism.
Yes.
Okay? It's a coping mechanism as well.
Yes.
So we use humor. Sometimes we need to laugh about our problems to feel better about them. That's the way we cope with everyday life.
Yes.
And that's what humor is all, and that's what makes a good comedian. Have you ever seen a comedian who sits there like I just mentioned before, who talks about who cracks jokes about positive things? That's not funny. You sit there like, okay, give me dark sense of humor and I'm going to be up for it. I'm going to find it. And that's what humor's about.
And I think there's something to be said. There's an argument. Look, I'm not picking on anyone, but there's also one argument that says, like, if you can't laugh at yourself, there's something going on there, right? Like, why? Like, there's cancer patients out there that can still crack a joke about loss of hair or, what they're going through. So why is Jada taking it so personal? Like, he's having a joke not about your disease, but just about your appearance. He's not laughing about alopecia and all the people that go through alopecia. He's just saying you're bald. You know, he's poking fun of your appearance. So in that sense, are you too vain? Are you so shallow? Is your ego so huge that someone taking a dig at how you look just hurts you so much that you can't crack a smile? You know? And in turn, what does that tell you about your partner? Like, why does your partner have to go and fight your fight for you?
Yeah.
Right? If we went to a comedy show and someone cracked a joke about my wife and she laughed, that is representative of how we are as people. We can laugh at ourselves. We can laugh at each other, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that says something about their household and their relationship that it's so intense. They can't.
It is. I think she probably wears the pants as well.
I reckon she does. She seems like it.
Definitely. I did want to say, in today's society, we've kind of normalized and said that it's okay to talk about our problems and to share our problems with others, things that make us, things that we're ashamed about, things that make us feel uncomfortable about ourselves. It's okay to share it with the world.
Yes.
And in Jada's case, it's alopecia.
Yes.
But what they haven't been taught, they forget that it's okay to be okay with it. It's okay to get criticism. That's the thing. That's the problem. Like, okay, talk about your problem, talk about alopecia, raise awareness about alopecia, but also just don't be disappointed when someone expect that criticism from other people.
Yep.
And take that well.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, if you're strong enough to be able to put it out there, then you should be strong enough to take the criticism. Because a lot of people, for, their own reasons, put their personal issues out there, right? A lot of people do it to garner support, positive feedback. Look at me, look how brave, stroke their ego, get that pat on the back.
But move on.
But not only that, like, if you can accept the positives, you should also be able to accept the negatives. It just comes with this modern day world, right? If you're putting yourself out there, you have to be able to know that, yeah, some people are going to piss on alopecia. Some people are just going to laugh. Trolls are going to just poke, right? So why get so upset? No one's saying it's not a serious issue. But like...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was just my mini rant.
The thing is that we've become victims. We always see ourselves as victims. When we're putting our problems out there, we're not putting them because we want to share it with the people. We're putting them because we want to play the victim.
Yeah.
I can say this because I have a skin condition as well that's similar to alopecia, right? And I've struggled with it my whole life. I've gone through stages where I wouldn't be able to walk for 3-4 months.
Yeah, right.
And I've put it out there. People know that because sometimes I walk into work limping and people ask, oh, what's wrong with you? I'm like, oh, I've got eczema. I've got this. And I expect whatever I get back. I'm not going to play the victim. It's my condition. I own it.
Yep.
And I move on with my life.
Yeah. Imagine the reception she would have got if she literally just at the point where the joke was cracked, she pointed to her hair and just had a giggle. You're like, yeah, that's me. That's alopecia. I've lost all my hair. You know what I mean? As opposed to like, oh, she just made that face, hey, that really too soon face. When someone cracks a joke and it's too soon, it's like, yeah, I didn't like that joke. And yeah, I think there was history with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Something's happened. I think Chris Rock had cracked a joke about their relationship in the past, and he didn't like it. But still, yeah, he's lost a lot of fans from that. I think all the white knights will agree with him. All the simps will agree with him. Stand up for your women, fight for your women, but not like that.
As a woman, if my man had done that, I would be very disappointed in him. I'll be like, first of all, you've embarrassed me in front of everyone. Everyone we know. This is not how you handle it like a man. You need to compose yourself in public settings. I mean, if that guy had turned around and thrown us like you know, a sexual comment at me or something really inappropriate, then yes, defend me by all means. But for the feminists out there, they don't need a man to fight their battles, right?
Yep.
She didn't need him to walk up to Chris and slap him. She could have done that herself, right?
Yeah, exactly. She could have walked up there.
You want to do it yourself, by all means. Walk up there and stand up for yourself. Don't let your man do it for you.
Yeah, and instead, you know, just he goes and physically assaults someone. You know, I figured it out now. So I read this somewhere, but back in 2016 Oscars, I think Chris Rock made the joke that I think it was the time where a lot of black actors, African American actors and actresses, weren't nominated for anything, and all the black actors were like boycotting the Oscars. They're like, we're not gonna go because it's all just everyone is that's nominated is white. And then Chris Rock was like, he made this joke. He said, Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited. So he's just like, you're a nobody. You weren't invited anyway. So Jada Smith, if you want to boycott it. But, you know, no one cares. You weren't invited. And I think that was the start of their, you know, the whole tension between the two. And
that's interesting. I would have thought it was during the whole entanglement debacle that happened.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, I would struggle to see Will Smith in a leading role now. Like, in my mind and in my head, like, you're just a simp now, bro. Like, come on.
Like I said, I mean, stand up for your woman. Yes, be a man, but that's not, violence is not. And you know what? It's come at the worst time when it's a very public event that's been aired to, like, what? I think there was like 97 million people watching it. There's a war happening in Russia and Ukraine. And the last thing you want to do is use violence. The Academy said nothing about it.
Yeah.
And then Will Smith turned around and said a speech being so hypocritical, talked about love and protecting your family and peace, and I don't know what bullshit he fed to the audience, and everyone stood up and clapped for him.
Yep.
What has this world come to? And like you just said before, if Jada had turned around and laughed off the joke and pointed at her head, the alopecia community will turn and be like, yes, she's a strong woman. She's powerful. She's embracing her disease. And
that's right.
She's taking control of her disease. Her disease is not taking control of her.
Yes.
But she's reacted the opposite. She was disappointed.
Yeah. The world's the world's just gonna be like, you're struggling with it. The world will be like, oh, she's actually really struggling with it. She's, you know, she's not handling it really well. Right? Yeah. That's what people will think.
But I feel like whatever reaction she would have had, everyone would have supported her. If she went along with it, the alopecia community would be like, she's a strong woman. Now, she didn't go along with it. Everyone's like, oh, you know, Chris was in the wrong. She should have done better, because she's that public figure. Yeah. Whatever she says, people are going to turn around and imitate that. They're going to mirror her reaction. And that's what really frustrates me about today's society. We've become sheep. Whatever we see in the media, we literally, everything we see in the media sways our opinion, sways our judgment. Yeah. And it's starting to really frustrate me.
And really, it could have gone multiple ways, right? If she, you laughed it off, pointed at her hair, like, yeah, that's me. I've got alopecia. Yeah, it sucks. Haha. Then she would have been seen as like, oh, what a strong woman. She can joke about herself. She doesn't take herself so seriously, right? So that's the good scenario. The negative scenario is if she made that face, but Will Smith didn't do anything, right? If she made that face like, oh, I didn't like that joke, then everyone would be on Chris Rock being like, oh, made it awkward, made it uncomfortable. It wasn't a good time. Like, she would have won everyone's sympathy, right? But then she probably wouldn't have wanted that. She probably wouldn't have wanted people to like, oh, poor Jada, she's going through alopecia, whatever. So, but at least with Will Smith doing that, it's taken the whole focus of alopecia. Like, no one cares about Jada's reaction anymore. Everyone's just talking about how crazy and impulsive and how emotional Will Smith has been. And not only that, like, if you see the celebrity tweets in response to that, like, his son, Jaden Smith, said, "That's how we do it." Did you see that tweet?
Oh, Jesus, no, I haven't. That
Yeah.
is not how you do it, Jaden. See, not setting a good example. Violence is not how you do it.
Yeah.
This is even more infuriating. Like,
Yeah. And
is this how it's supposed to be done?
no, but that's why I feel like that was such an emotional response. And I just look so negatively on Will Smith now. I just always imagine him to be a fairly composed person, you know, very eloquent in his speech, like very dapper in his approach, like he's always got it together, and now we see him lose his shit over a joke from a comedian. You know, it wasn't even a random passerby that had a dig at his wife. It was literally in the context of the monologue opening or whatever it was for a award ceremony. So Will Smith, bad. You're bad in my books now. I'm not watching Wild Wild West anymore. That's it.
I'm not gonna watch any of Will Smith's acts anymore. And there's this running joke that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock because he's auditioning for Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali 2 movie.
Who? Chris Rock is
No, Will Smith's auditioning for, and he was just practicing on Chris Rock.
It's funny.
What's funny?
That he chose to slap him.
I mean, look, if you want to go all the way, just punch the guy. Like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Right.
And imagine like Chris Rock, like, I don't know, imagine there was a scuffle on stage.
But can we talk about how Chris Rock handled it so well?
Yes.
Literally all he said was, Will Smith just fucking smacked the shit out of me. And then that's it. He ended it off with a joke.
No, it was awkward. There was an awkward moment of silence.
It was, because he was shocked.
Yeah, he was just like, just what just went on here? Like, because when Will Smith was like, "Get my wife's name out of your effing mouth," he was just like, I will. It was just a G.I. Jane joke. And then Will Smith exploded again. Get your, you know, like, and he was just, whoa, okay, this is serious now. And yeah, that moment where he just stopped and started, he was just like, this is the best moment in television history. But it was just like the awkward punchline. Like, it didn't come off really well.
But he composed himself. In my head, the way Will would have handled this perfectly, like a gentleman, okay, is to just, the moment he saw the way Jada reacted, is to just put his arm on her, like put his hand on her, you know, on her leg or on her shoulder, and just pat her, whatever, but make her feel comfortable, like you're right there with her, not walk up.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? How do you think she felt about that? Do you think she would have been proud?
No. Well, if she is the woman she says she is,
strong, independent, because that's how she.
Independent, but also if I'm in a relationship with someone that I've known for, like, they've been together for a very long time, I want what's best for him as well. And what he did not only embarrassed me, or the way I would see it, it's embarrassing for me and embarrassing for him. And I wouldn't want that for him. So I would be disappointed.
Yeah, I think so too. Only, yeah, you wouldn't celebrate that.
No.
With everything at stake, with your career at stake, with the media hype around it, with the aftermath that if you know shit's gonna go down, like Oscars, live TV, swearing, physical assault, like, you know, that's a circus right there, and you wouldn't be too proud.
Yeah.
Right.
And definitely, I wouldn't be. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be proud, and neither should he.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to wait and find out the way the world sees this.
And people also say, like, what Will Smith has done, he's crossed a barrier now, right? All of a sudden, you've got celebrities not being able to take a joke and going up and confronting comedians. Like, you'd think normal people couldn't take a joke. So now this has shone a light. This has shone a light on what is too much, what is too far. When it comes to comedy.
This, if we're gonna keep drawing lines, I think comedy's gonna be dead soon.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine cracking a joke about how successful you are. Look at me, I'm a billionaire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
don't joke about, like I said, dark humor. That's where it's all.
But
Where
it
it's all
wasn't
at.
even dark. That's the thing. It was so
It wasn't
soft.
dark.
It was such the
soft, but
softest joke.
Yeah. Where do we draw the line? Is my question. I feel like with everything that's happening, where do we draw the line?
Well, that's what
comedy.
I mean. Comedy always used to get a free pass.
Yeah.
I don't think we draw any line with comedy.
But the thing is, now they're looking back at the comedians like Eddie Murphy. When he had his shows, I think one of his biggest shows was in the 80s. Might have been the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah.
And back in the day, it was very normal to joke about, gender and sexuality. Okay. But what society is doing now is going back to these old videos from the 80s, from the 60s, the 70s, where things were normal back then.
Yep.
And they're bringing that into today's society, and they're trying to cancel these celebrities because of the things they said in the past that used to be seen as normal.
Yeah.
That is now crossing boundaries. Like, where does this end?
It's weird. You'd think like back in those days things would be more conservative, but I've watched some Seinfeld episodes where I'm just thinking, wow, if they made that joke now, he'd
What episode?
Oh, I just don't know, but I've just watched a few. Like my wife loves reruns of Seinfeld, and I just watched some, and I'm just like, whoa, that's a pretty out there joke, And yeah, I can just tell if he did that joke this day and age. And I think he even mentioned it. He said like some of the stuff that they wrote back in the day was pretty out there, and it wouldn't pass the test in this day and age.
But that's the thing. It's like, imagine us becoming so sensitive to the point where, like, you know what? Let's go back to the past. Let's go through the history books. Let's talk about everything bad anyone has said about anything, and let's bring that with us. And cancel them now.
So do you think...
Make a big deal about it now.
Do you think people have always felt this way, but it's only with the invent of technology and social media that now everyone has a voice? But do you think we've always felt this insecure and this sensitive about all this stuff?
No, I personally don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I feel like maybe raising a lot of awareness about people's struggles has made us more sensitive and more careful with the things that we need to say. But sometimes there's a line where we need to draw a line between the changes that we can make and things that we just have to live with. And when it comes to comedy, it's just something we need to live with. And we need to accept that a lot of comedians out there are going to turn around and throw a terrorist joke, turn around, throw a race joke. Russell Peters does it all the time with the Arabs. He loves his Arabs.
Yep.
A joke about gender, joke about sexuality, and we've just got to accept it and move on with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ricky Gervais is
I love him.
He's the best at what he does. Like, he's the best at going really dark, right?
But how, if Ricky Gervais had done that and said that comment about Jada, would Will had walked up to him?
Probably, because that's what I mean. Like, I think he was just so emotional about it, and I just don't understand why he was so caught up with the emotion. But I really think his emotion was genuine and just uncalled for. But like you said, even at the end when he won the Best Actor, like, I think that happens towards the end, still didn't apologize to Chris Rock,
No.
Still had to be the big man, I just slapped somebody, it's just, yeah. And yeah, like I said, I think technology, social media has allowed people to become too emotional because everything is a trigger now,
Actually, I'm just reading this thing, and it's pretty much going off what we said, what we've discussed. Um, Director Judd Apatow,
Yeah.
he said that Will could have killed him. That's pure out of control rage and violence. The train wreck director wrote in a silence deleted tweet. He also pointed out that these celebrities, they've heard a million jokes about them in the last 3 decades. They are not freshmen in the world of Hollywood and comedy. He's lost his mind.
Mm. Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. They're not freshmen. They know what Hollywood is all about. They know what being a celebrity is all about.
Yep. Yep.
No judgment.
That's what I mean. Like Kanye West. Like I honestly think Kanye West is going through some mental health episode. Like
Definitely.
really. And I think something's going on with that family there. I mean, look, each family goes through their own issues, but I think that very public reaction is representative of you guys are going through your thing. We respect that. Maybe you guys got to sit down and deal with it. But yeah, to go to an award ceremony, pretend everything's all happy, rosy, and then someone just like has a little poke, and then you lose your shit. Like, oof, you're very raw. You know what I mean? Like he's really raw. He hasn't got it all well kept, and that's Hollywood, right? There's a facade. Looks like everything's cool on the outside, but deep down, like they're going through their own issues. So, yeah, well, there you go. Will Smith, talk of the town.
I'm not going to be watching any of his movies anymore. I'm not even going to be rewatching his old movies anymore. I'm boycotting Will Smith.
Oh, you know what? I wonder how well King Richard went. If that's the movie. Like, do you even know the movie? I don't even know the movie.
I didn't even know he was in a movie. I haven't seen a movie in a very long time.
Same. Yeah, he wins first Oscar. That's his. Oh my God, that's his first Oscar too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's his first Oscar as well. And you know what? Even Kanye hasn't done something crazy like that. Slap the hell out of someone in public.
Mate, see what men do for women? They've just lost it. Totally lost.
Like I said, men have gone from one extreme to the other. Like they've gone from being toxic masculine to just extremely feminine.
Yeah.
You need to find that balance.
Yes. He's gonna cop it. No more. And you know what? This is the thing. He's gonna be the butt of all jokes now. Like if he hoped to do anything, now he's become the target of all jokes.
Definitely.
Conan O'Brien, I think Conan O'Brien was like, he doesn't do late night comedy anymore, his show anymore. But he was just like, is there someone with a late night show I can borrow? Because he wanted to have a crack. He wanted to do an opening monologue about Will Smith. Because, yeah, Will Smith, you haven't done yourself any favors. You're going to be the butt of all jokes moving forward now to eternity. And you're going to take a long time to reclaim the mantle of, you know, the AAA actor that he once was. I think he's had a few flop. I don't know how good King Richard is, but whatever.
And you know what? It's also not good for his new show, Prince of Bel-Air.
He has a new show?
Yeah, it's he's directing it and producing it. Prince of Bel-Air. So it's a spin-off of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Uh-huh.
And it's on Stan. It just recently came out. Okay. And wrong timing for this. Wrong timing.
Yeah.
Because you've just jeopardized your career. But you know what? As much as people are against what he did, there's just as many supporting him. So it's just 50-50 balance.
Yeah, and that's the thing with this day and age with the like identity politics, you know, that they talk about in social media. It's like, I belong to this group. This is my tribe now. Like, I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, or I'm like, I identify as whatever, you know? So people have fallen into these camps now, and not only have they fallen into these gender ideas, they're very tribal about it. Right? Yeah. They will fight to their death. This is who I am. I identify as a hippo. I am a hippo. You know, like people will just like not back down. So that's why, Will Smith will have his We have his army behind him.
Look, what I want to say is he just overreacted. If he was offended, Jada was offended, I get it. Maybe it's something sensitive that she didn't want. Like, if that joke was said to a man who was suffering from alopecia or someone who's bald because of a condition, that man would have probably taken it better than she did. And I understand that she's sensitive about it, emotional, fair enough.
Mm.
Pull him to the side, pull Chris Rock to the side, and just speak to him about it. Mate, you're offending my wife, or whatever. I don't know how celebrities have these discussions, right? I don't know how they communicate with each other, but that could have been done instead of just walking up to him and the force wasn't reasonable. The act wasn't reasonable.
No, it was just way too aggressive. Like,
it was too aggressive. It was violent. This isn't the right time for aggression or violence to be aired on TV when the world's already struggling with all of this. And the fact that his own son is supporting him and his behavior, I'm sure that his son's going to get into a fight soon as well.
But yeah, so all that shows is it's not only become acceptable to confront a comedian, it's also acceptable to go and assault a comedian if you don't like what they joke about.
Exactly. And you know what? We should do that too. So from now on, if I don't like something you say,
I'm gonna get a smack across the face.
I'm just gonna walk up to you, bang.
And I can hear it already. Get my name out of your effing mouth, David.
And you just put your head down like, yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah, oh man. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of that. Like, honestly, when I saw it today, as soon as I saw it, I don't know, on social media, it was all over. I told my wife, I was like, did you see what happened, what Will Smith did today? And she was also up in arms. She was like, yeah, I can't believe that. And she, similar to you, in your camp, didn't like it. Didn't agree with it.
Yeah.
And uncalled for. Anyway.
It is definitely uncalled for.
That is our rant. We ranted for 50-something minutes on this stupid topic about Will Smith going nuts.
Thanks to Chris Rock and Will Smith for the content, guys.
Yes, appreciate it. Yeah, and that's all we have. We'll have to react to more stupid shit that celebrities do. No doubt there'll be plenty.
There'll be plenty.
All right.
Plenty more to come.
Signing out. See you in the next episode. Bye.